Hello, Old School Gamer 1971 here. Greetings one and all, especially to you, Millie and Lloyd. Today my third hour thoughts is on Valkyria Revolution. I've been playing this game for 3 hours and this is what I think. So Valkyria Revolution by Media Vision, an action RPG that came out on the PlayStation 4 in 2017. This takes place in an entirely different location, Jutland. You kinda start in the middle of the story and you play as Amarito, captain of the Vanguard. Again you must defend your land against the Rusi Empire. You see this through the eyes of a student. A teacher gives you more information. I don't want to give too much away, but there is a story and I don't want to ruin it.
I'd like to know the truth, Professor.
After a brief history of how Ragnar was the cause of the war, it tells you it's a full century after the first game setting. You see people stood in a wood. They move to a graveside. The pupil starts questioning the teacher about history and whether or not the 5 traitors are traitors or if they're actually innocent. Then switches to some troops talking about the battle ahead. One thing to be said is the cutscenes are well too long.
The region of Molten.
When the game started, it reminded me of a generic Japanese RPG. Unfortunately, it's more action based and less tactical. Going around the town, however, it is improved. With more places to visit and different ways to improve your equipment, the game, however, is combat heavy. When it comes to atmosphere, there is much wrong with this game. The music is not too bad and the story is interesting, but I just couldn't get involved in any of the characters. I also feel that the cutscenes detract from the overall feel of the game. If they'd shortened them, it would have made the game run smoother.
They were known as the Vanguard, and their commanding officer.
Combat felt sloppy. The movement during combat sometimes felt like you was ice skating. The interface is easy enough. Cover is still an option. Behind walls is also possible now. Your troops AI is okay. It doesn't have the depth the predecessor had. Whilst you gain some of the combat skills later in the game, it just doesn't quite sit right. And let's be honest, if a game is combat heavy, its combat is the thing it needs to have right most.
Whilst the graphics are not bad and clear, I didn't like the style. The foliage looks really bad. I can't decide if it's the colour palette that is wrong, or if it's the characters' faces and clothes. As well, the larger vehicles don't seem to fit in with the rest of the world, and are quite simplistic in places. Sometimes the graphics look scrappy. The sound does what it says on the tin. Musically it has a good soundtrack. That doesn't quite fit. The voiceover isn't quite right neither. I feel this game didn't start off as a Valkyria game, but with the long cutscenes and characterization with all the wrong voices, it doesn't quite work.
No match for us.
Constant vigilance.
So, is this interesting after 3 hours? If this didn't have the Valkyria moniker, I would have probably thought better of the game. I could understand if they swapped out for a bigger and better combat system, however this is generic at best. It's a shame, as with more polish and tweaked combat system, it would have made it a much better experience. It is a story I want to play, and one day I will return, but it will be on a wet and windy Sunday morning when I have nothing else to play. So that about wraps it up. Hope you all have a good day, and if this has been helpful in any way, like, subscribe, comment or share. It helps the channel grow and makes an old man happy. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.